You ever seen a man just lose it over someone? Like, one day he's talking about spreadsheets and meal prepping, and the next he's writing poetry at 3 a.m. with his shirt off, staring into the moonlight like it owes him something. Yeah, that thing. That glitch in the system where logic goes out the window and even the most composed guy becomes a mess of texts, playlists, and emotionally charged YouTube searches. Let's talk about that. The thing men can't explain, but that makes them fall madly, deeply, irreversibly in love. It's not just butterflies. No. This is full-blown infestation. I'm talking about the kind of love where his entire personality shifts in the span of a week. He starts liking jazz when he's always been a techno guy. He suddenly believes in soulmates, astrology, and candles that cleanse energy. You know, the kind that smell like sandalwood and desperation. Here's the wild part. Even he doesn't know why it's happening. If you ask him, "Hey bro, what is it about her?" He'll pause for way too long and then say something like, "I don't know, man. She just gets me." Which sounds deep, but means absolutely nothing. Because what he's trying to describe isn't rational. It's chemical. It's psychological. It's spiritual. It's weird. And it all starts in a place most guys didn't even know existed. The subconscious. That dusty attic in the brain where all the childhood stuff is stored. You know, mom hugs, dad's silence, the awkward middle school haircut, abandonment issues wrapped in Batman bed sheets. It's the emotional junk drawer we never cleaned out. And it just sits there, swirling around like psychological soup, waiting for the right spoon to stir it up. Then, bam, he meets someone. Not an angel descending from the heavens, not someone with mystical powers, but someone who feels familiar, like a song he forgot he knew all the words to. There's something about her, the way she laughs, the way she looks at him without flinching, the way she tilts her head when she's listening like she's tuning in just for him. It's not about perfection, it's about recognition, and it hits something ancient in him, something buried deep, something he didn't even know he was missing, until she walked in and accidentally set off every emotional alarm in his system. And suddenly, he's hooked. But not like, "Ah, that's cute," hooked. This is change my schedule, cancel plans with the boys, rewatch her Instagram stories like it's homework, and analyze her Spotify playlist like it's a secret code. Hooked. He starts building a fantasy version of her in his head, not because she asked him to or gave him false hope, but because his brain, which has been quietly waiting for something to feel this intensely about, finally thinks it's found it. His inner voice goes, "We've waited our whole life for this. This is the one. Go." All in, and boy does he. Head first, heart open, no helmet. His sleep, ruined. Appetite, gone. Productivity, missing in action. He's now running on pure adrenaline, secondhand memories of their last conversation, and the sound of her voice echoing in his head like a favorite song. And if she texts him back with a heart emoji, game over. He's already mentally rehearsed their first vacation, picked out matching Halloween costumes, and named their future dog Milo because it just feels right. And don't get me wrong, this isn't about lust. It's not even about sex. It's about something deeper, something primal. He wants to be seen, fully, and for some wild, illogical, beautiful reason, he believes she does. Whether she actually does, that's another story entirely. But in his mind, she's not just looking at him. She's seeing him. Past the jokes, the defenses, the curated confidence, she's unlocked a door he didn't even know was there. And now, he's standing in that doorway, arms wide open, waving like a lunatic, hoping she walks in and decides to stay forever. And here's where it gets spicy. He starts changing, not in small, subtle ways, in big, seismic, "Wait, who even are you anymore" ways. Like, he used to laugh at poetry, literally roll his eyes at it in high school. Now he's reading Rumi under soft lighting, whispering verses like they're prophecy. He once claimed romantic movies were cringe. Now he's tearing up at the Notebook, Googling behind-the-scenes trivia like it matters. He's not just falling in love, he's being reprogrammed. Whole parts of his personality are being rewritten in real time, like some invisible software update was installed the moment she smiled at him. And if you think this is all voluntary, think again. This isn't a choice. This is a full-body takeover, a psychological hostage situation. And the captor is serotonin in a cute dress. His brain, that once proud fortress of logic and cool-headed decisions, is now releasing chemicals that make her feel like a drug. And not just any drug, like some luxurious high-grade emotional heroin. Dopamine? Check. Oxytocin? Flooded. Norepinephrine? Spiked. It's that whole sexy neurochemical cocktail that screams, "OMG, I need her in my life or I will melt into a puddle and dissolve into my couch." And when she's not around, it's not peaceful. It's withdrawal, cold sweats, sleepless nights, sad playlists filled with songs he never even liked before, staring at their last selfie like it's Renaissance art, questionable Instagram likes at 2 a.m. that he'll pretend were accidental. He's not just infatuated, he's chemically altered. And the scary part? He's kind of okay with it. He's not thinking clearly, and honestly, he doesn't care. Logic packed its bags a while ago and left town, because being in this state, it's incredible. It's delicious. It's dangerous in the most seductive way. It's like standing on the edge of a cliff with your arms wide open, eyes closed, feeling the wind whip past your face. Terrifying, yes, but also weirdly euphoric. He knows he might fall. He knows this probably won't end well. But part of him wants to fall. Part of him is already midair. That's how deep it goes. It's not just feelings, it's surrender. And you'd think, with time, it would fade, right? Like everything else, like summer crushes or viral TikTok trends. But for some guys, it doesn't. The feelings burrow in. They settle. They set up furniture and hang art. She becomes the benchmark, the standard, the fixed star in his emotional sky. Every future partner, no matter how wonderful, no matter how real, gets quietly compared to her. Every laugh, every touch, every moment of intimacy is stacked up against the memory of a woman who may not have even been real in the way he remembered her. Because what is he holding on to now? It's not just love anymore. It's mythology. It's a romantic legend built from fragments and feelings and all the things he wanted her to be. And here's the tragic comedy of it all. He still can't explain it. Not in a real, grounded, actionable way. He'll say stuff like, "She had this energy," or "We just connected on a soul level," which sounds profound, sure, but when you sit with it for a second, you realize he's just trying to translate a feeling that doesn't speak in language. Because the truth is, the brain can convince itself of anything when it desperately wants to feel special. And in this case, it wants to believe. It wants to believe this was cosmic, that it was rare, that it was fate-approved and spiritually certified, that finally, after all the failed almosts, he found the one that makes every heartbreak make sense. The master key to every locked door. Now don't get it twisted. This isn't about being needy. It's not a weakness. This isn't just a problem for guys with commitment issues or low self-esteem. This can happen to any man, the emotionally stable one, the gym rat who tracks macros, the coder who runs on logic and caffeine, the world traveler who meditated with monks. If the right emotional button is pushed at the right time, with the right smile and the right scent and the right timing, boom, he's in. No hesitation, no backup plan, no parachute. He dives. Because here's what's really happening. It's not just her he's falling for. It's himself. Or at least, the version of himself he gets to be around her. She sees him. Or at least, he thinks she does. And that's enough to unravel years of emotional armor in seconds. It's like love meets time travel. He's not just with her in the present. He's standing next to every version of himself that ever felt unseen, unchosen, unheard. And when she says something that reflects his own hidden thoughts, when she finishes a sentence he didn't say out loud, or shares a weird fear he's always kept secret, it doesn't feel like coincidence. It feels like fate. And suddenly, she's not just a person. She's a portal, a doorway, a mirror, a time machine, a fever dream with good hair and perfect timing. And when you meet someone like that, someone who opens a part of you that's been locked away for years, you don't forget them. Ever. Even if you never see them again. Even if it was never meant to last. Because what she touched wasn't just his heart, it was his story. And that's the kind of connection that doesn't fade. It lingers. It echoes. It leaves fingerprints on the soul. The problem is, portals are tricky. Sometimes they lead you to healing. Sometimes they lead you straight into heartbreak. And the cruel twist? You don't know which one it is until you're already halfway through. Half-dressed in vulnerability, sleep-deprived, emotionally stretched, and praying that all this intensity, all this chaos, is going to mean something in the end. That it's going somewhere. But for this guy, he won't know. Not yet. He's still mid-fall, gripping onto fragments of meaning, hoping there's a landing pad somewhere beneath all that feeling. And here's the hilarious, oddly tragic part. If you catch him after it's all said and done, when the messages stop, the photos are archived, and she's nothing but a ghost on his contact list. And you ask, so, what happened with her? He'll just blink, like he's waking up from a very detailed, very emotional fever dream. He'll scratch the back of his neck, maybe laugh, maybe sigh, and say, "I don't even know, man," and he means it. Because how do you explain something that felt like magic but ended like mist? How do you put into words something that made you ache in places you didn't even know existed? That's the thing. It's human. It's messy. It's beautiful. And yes, it's completely ridiculous, but it's also real. Real in that soul-twisting, heart-splitting, can't breathe without them kind of way. The kind of love men don't usually talk about. The kind they bury beneath logic and sarcasm and too many reps at the gym. They keep it tucked away in private group chats and unsent notes. Until one day, someone walks in. No warning, no fireworks, just quietly seeing him. And suddenly she lights a match, and everything he thought he knew about himself goes up in flames. So the next time you see a guy acting a little different, softer, quieter, more reflective than usual, don't mock him. Don't tease. Just give him a knowing look and say, "You met someone, didn't you?" And watch him melt. Watch him crumble in the best way. Because love, the kind that doesn't make sense, the kind that sneaks in without knocking, never arrives loudly. It tiptoes. It whispers. It dresses up as understanding and curiosity and shared laughter. And by the time he realizes what's happening, he's already gone. Gone in the best way. Lost in something bigger than himself. And hey, if you're the one he fell for, be kind. Please, be kind. Because you may not realize the version of him you unlocked. The old scars you unknowingly touched. The ocean he's been trying to swim across just to stand beside you. Sometimes it's not even about the relationship. It's not about becoming a couple or riding into the sunset. Sometimes it's about the transformation he underwent just because you existed. The mirror you held up to him. The courage he found in himself just from being seen by you, even if only for a moment. Because that's the quiet truth no one tells you. Sometimes it's not about getting the girl. Sometimes it's about who he became on the way to her. The evolution, the unmasking, the inner journey from bravado to vulnerability, from pretending to feeling. That's the stuff poets try to write about but never quite capture. That sacred in-between where pain meets growth and love rewrites the rules. That's the magic men can't explain. But man, do they feel it. And when that magic wears off, when the obsession fades, the fantasy crumbles, the constant high deflates into silence, what's left? That's the part no one prepares you for. The crash, the blank space, the emotional hangover that hits like a freight train in the quiet hours of the night, the grief that feels completely out of proportion because technically nothing happened. No breakup, no betrayal, just a deep, aching absence where all that energy used to live. And he finds himself staring into the emotional wreckage, asking, was any of it even real? Or did I just fall in love with an idea? But here's the plot twist, and it's a powerful one. That heartbreak, it becomes a portal too. Maybe not as shiny or thrilling as the first one, but deeper, truer. It's a mirror that doesn't flatter. It shows him everything. The wounds he's ignored, the loneliness he's numbed, the parts of himself he thought weren't worthy of love. This is where the real work begins. This is where he starts not just moving on, but moving through. Because that woman, that connection, that obsession, it was never about her alone. It was about what she awakened in him, the hunger to be seen, the longing to feel worthy, the need to belong, not just to someone else, but to himself. That's the stuff he has to face now. So what does healing look like? It looks like late-night journaling instead of doom scrolling. It looks like long walks with no destination. Therapy sessions where he finally admits that maybe, just maybe, he's been carrying a 10-year-old version of himself who never felt good enough. It's the gym, yes, but this time, not for aesthetics, for clarity, for reclaiming his rhythm. It looks like deleting the playlist, then undeleting it, then finally letting it go. It's about resisting the urge to send that one last text just for closure, and realizing that closure isn't always a conversation. Sometimes it's a decision, a quiet, dignified decision to take your power back. And then, somewhere down the line, comes peace. Not the loud, euphoric kind, the soft kind, the kind that arrives without fanfare. He wakes up one morning and realizes he hasn't thought about her in days, that her favorite song came on and he didn't flinch, that he saw someone new and smiled, without comparing. That's when he knows he didn't just survive it, he grew from it. Because the truth is, the woman who triggered the obsession, she helped him meet someone far more important, himself. And that's not a tragedy, that's a beginning. If that hit a little too close to home, you're not alone. Hit that like button if your brain's ever betrayed you in the name of love, and subscribe if you're ready to unpack what happens after the obsession. Drop a comment if you've ever gone full Shakespeare over someone who didn't even text back. No judgment.